This one's gonna be a little controversial. Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance released on the Game Boy Advance in 2002. It is my 88th ranked RPG that I finished. The term Metroidvania, a term which I cordially but intensely dislike, gets used to describe a lot of games these days. I find this unfortunate because it A, gives far too much credit to Castlevania for a subgenre whose foundation was formed almost entirely by the other series referenced in the term, and B, has obscured the actual spin that Castlevania games added to the subgenre, which is that they are technically action RPGs. They are essentially Metroid games with tried-and-true JRPG features such as level grinding, resource farming, and character customization elements that were pulled straight out of those 90s RPGs, not to mention storytelling with branching paths. So, yes, Castlevania games made in the same vein as Symphony of the Night do count as RPGs on my list. If you don't like it, feel free to write an angry comment and up my engagement numbers. With all that said, my favorite thing about this game has to be its visuals. As with pretty much all Castlevanias of this era, the sprite work is peerless. This one is particularly bright and colorful, likely as a response to Circle of the Moon, which was far too dark for the GBA's unlit screen. The vibrancy does not take away from the game's horror vibes, it's simply less gothic and more Italian giallo in its atmosphere. It gives big Suspiria vibes. My least favorite thing is that the game feels a little bit too easy on the combat side for a Castlevania game. I'm not someone who needs a huge challenge, particularly in a narrative-driven game, but very few, if any, of the bosses gave me a meaningful challenge. That said, finding the game's true ending is just as obtuse of a task as it is in most of the other action RPG Castlevanias. This is a shared trait amongst them, which I personally really don't care for. There are a few more of these Metroid-like Castlevanias that have made it onto my list. I'm pretty sure they're the only inclusions that some of you might find suspect from a genre qualification standpoint. Let me know in the comments whether you think I was right to include them or not, and we'll see you at the next dice roll.